Hey, it's Professor Josh. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to unbox $1,200 worth of Funko Pop NFT redeemables. Let's check out and see what we got. All kinds of good stuff from Grails to Legendaries to royalty ones, so stick around. Hey, don't forget to join us on Whatnot tonight. We still have 20 mystery boxes left, and both Grails are still in there. So we're going to auction those off. We got two different Grails, Marvel Grails you don't want to miss out on. You got the original Hobgoblin and also the Anti-Venom Glow that came from Box Lunch. You definitely want to try your hand at that. Come on over to Whatnot and join us at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday nights. We're hanging out and hopefully opening some great Grails for you. And don't forget to use my code below. If you never used Whatnot before, you can use it for $15 off your first purchase. So if this is your first purchase, a great time to go ahead and sign up for Whatnot and purchase something and save that $15. And then it helps support the channel a little bit as well too back. So it's a great way to use that. But again, you know, you can in whatnot.com/invite/ProfessorJosh. Come on out. Alright, it's time to unbox these NFT royalties, NFT redeemables, NFT legendaries, grails, all kinds of good stuff. Finally came in. It seems like months and months and months you wait. Some come in sooner than others, which is really weird. You think they would come in the lineup they were sold, but it's not always the case. But we do have a few here today I'm going to unbox. Now hopefully these aren't damaged. Hopefully they come in well. Again, I don't know why Drop doesn't offer to put them in some kind of protector, even a soft protector from Funko or something like that when they ship them out, especially what people are paying for these and grabbing packs and all kinds of stuff. And the value of them, we're going to go over as we go along. So pretty expensive for some of these, especially when you're talking about the Grails and things like that. Definitely going up and up in value. But let's see, should be 5 of them in here, and we're gonna pull these out and see what we got. Hopefully they came out okay, but they do come in these kind of sorters, and Funko's been using these for a while now, so we're gonna see what we got in these boxes and kind of go through them as we go along. So and I'll kind of tell you also, as these, they have a number on them. Sometimes they'll say, you know, 4,500 or 1,700 or something like that. But that's not always the case of how many people actually redeem them. Because one, sometimes cards are burned when they don't sell an NFT through the drop account. They don't buy, people don't buy packs. They might burn some packs, which means less redeemables kind of are available in those. But also, people sometimes don't collect the royalty ones, which you have to get all of the common, uncommon, rare, and epic ones to be able to complete a set. So we're going to see what we got and what line we got here, because I got 2 different lines here of NFTs to check out, and one is definitely a little more expensive than the other. So so this one, it looks like we have this Sid and Marty Krofft line. So I'm going to start off with, it looks like the legendaries from that line. So the first legendary I have is Jimmy. So Jimmy's from HR Puffin Stuff, if you haven't ever checked that out. Old school. A lot of these are old school, like definitely even older than me, kind of cartoons and shows, and I guess not really cartoons, but like animated creatures and suits and stuff like that. Back in the day, I guess, you're looking at Sid and Marty Krofft definitely did some unique things with a bunch of different shows, and we'll talk about a couple of them as we go along. But Jimmy is a legendary. His BBG right now is about 70 bucks, which isn't surprising. He was on the lower end when they were for sale, when you could buy the cards. I think $30-ish, $30 to $35-ish, something like that. But he has a magic potion kind of ready to squirt out there. Kind of cool. I like him. I don't know much about Jimmy, so I don't know a lot about Jimmy, but Jimmy was 1,400 pieces. So if you look at the sticker there, only 1,400 pieces, but actually redeemed was 1,304 of them. So only actually 1,304 should remain out there in the world somewhere. Maybe they keep some in case some come crushed, damaged. I saw some people have some really crushed boxes this time. So that can happen. You know, you never know if that's going to happen as you're going along and, you know, through the mail. They can only do so much, especially if you're not putting them in protectors or hard stacks or anything like that. Wish you could upgrade to that option, even if you had to pay a little bit. I probably would, to add a little more to that. Kind of like you did for Pop Yourself. You could add a hard stack. I don't see why they couldn't do that for something like this. All right, another legendary that has been a pop before. Jimmy's never been a pop before, but this one has been a pop before. It actually also was a golden one for the opening of Funko Hollywood. They had a golden version of this, and this is SLE Stack. So this is from Land of the Lost, SLE Stack. Pretty cool looking figure. I do remember this show. These kind of were the weird reptile kind of creatures, humanoid reptile creatures from Land from the Lost there. This is a pretty cool pop. Again, it's coming a little more. So this is actually coming a lot more in value. Almost close to what the Grail is going for, which is kind of surprising. But I think SLE Stack is a more well-known character, and they have made him before in Funko Pop form. $110 right now on PPG, which is kind of cool. And then $1,400, of course, as the legendaries go, but this is 1,331 of these were actually redeemed. So not too bad. A really cool figure. Definitely nice looking. I like that they have the weapon in his hand and stuff like that. I think I like this a lot better than the ones they have produced before for SLE Stack. SLE Stack will come back in a little bit here. So alright, so that was our first little box there, but we still got more from this line. We got more definitely to open from this line because we completed the whole set. So this is one completed whole set and plus some, because I have another box out there with some more that I got. I decided to order some separately, just in case one box came really damaged, maybe one came okay, things like that. It looks like these look fine to me, but we're going to go ahead and grab the other legendary. So there was one more legendary that was out there. This one kind of surprised me because when I saw people starting to open the figure up, it looked a lot different than the actual glam shot. So I'll show you the glam shot so you can get a picture of kind of what I thought it was going to look like. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger in the box, a lot bigger actually of a figure. But this one is Seymour Spider. So Seymour Spider, I believe, also is from HR Puff and stuff. So he was one of the creatures. I think he's like henchman for Witchy Poo. I think that's what he was. So Seymour Spider here is pretty cool, but look how small he is. He's tiny in that box. I thought he was a lot bigger. When I saw the glam shot, it looked like he filled up the whole box. But this guy is small inside there. A pretty cool, unique figure. Again, we have him coming in a PPG, not too bad, at $80. And he's only 1,400 pieces, so pretty low count. And that means we only had 1,327 of these actually redeemed. So that's all that's out there of these ones. Kind of unique. So if you haven't checked out some of the redeemables, it's kind of cool to find out how low a piece count these are. And this is how it seems like it's coming along with some of these out there. All right. So we did get the Grail out of this set. I actually got two. I think I pulled two of the Grails. The packs were actually cheaper on the secondary market than they originally were. So that's why I went after more of this set and got to finish several of this set. And actually pulled some great legendaries out of pulling those. But I did end up getting two of the Grails. And this is one of them. This is Horatio JHudo. So he's from another one of the Sid and Marty Krofft series. I forget which one he's from. He's not from the two. He's not from Land of the Lost or HR Puffs and stuff. He was from another line, and he was like the villain of it. I think it was like Lineland or something like that. So if you know it, drop it in the comments. I forget what it was, but I remember him from another version of it. He almost kind of looks like Witchy Poo a little bit, I think. A little bit like Witchy Poo. Maybe they went after that with the character. So the Grail, of course, $999. Most of the Grails are like that, unless there are a few series were different. One was the Iron Maiden series. That was 666 for the Grail. And then they also had a different number for the Stranger Things series for the Eddie for the Grail in that series. So they did not the Eddie, but the dragon that was in that series. They did a little different number based on Stranger Things Day with that. So they do a little bit of twist, but he's pretty cool. He wasn't well sought after though. He was a pretty easy Grail to pick up on the secondary market, like when you could buy him from the Atomic Hub, either the NFT to redeem or even afterwards. He's coming only in at $115, so kind of one of the lower Grails that I've seen out there compared to especially the other Grail that will be opening today. Quite a bit difference. So again, only 955 of these were actually redeemed, so pretty low number. So if you're looking for him and you really enjoyed those cartoons or not the shows by Sid and Marty Krofft pictures, you definitely would want to try to find this pop, and it might be a little harder to find being that low number. All right, so I told you SLE Stack would come back. And SLE Stack did come back, but in Freddy Funko form. So we have the royalty. Again, this is a Freddy royalty, which is great. I love seeing the Freddy royalties, especially when they look really good and unique. And this one is definitely different, being all green like SLE Stack and having kind of that same body. But this is a different body than the one that we actually just opened, which is kind of cool. This one doesn't have the weapon. This one doesn't have some of the other things on it that this one did. So if you look at some of the weapon and the I guess belt and necklace and stuff like that, this one just is the plain SLE Stack, which we've kind of seen before. This one again is 2,700 pieces, but actually I would say this was probably one of the more redeemed actually royalties that I've seen. But royalties usually are about 500 to 1,000 lower than what the actual number on here says, because everyone doesn't finish those collections. They have to complete that whole set of common, uncommon, rare, and epics. So a lot of people don't go after all those, or maybe don't go after multiple sets of those and things like that, where sometimes legendaries you might pull multiples, or you might just buy multiples. This you could only buy if you wanted to buy every single card, which takes some time sometimes, or after the coin comes out, the token you use to redeem these, you could buy that as well. But this one wasn't too bad. It is a decent value. It's $95 PPG, and again, 2,307 of these were redeemed. So, you know, not too bad, but definitely a cool set. A unique set, definitely for a unique collector. It's not going to be for everyone. I think that's why these ones were a little lower too, is because it is an older cartoon that not as many, or not cartoon, but show, I guess, or multiple shows that not as many people are familiar with. So they might have come in a little lower. Compared to this next one that we're going to open, this was widely popular just a few years ago, and definitely controversial ending to it that a lot of people kind of threw off the market, but definitely seeing a lot of these pops come back, and we might have, you know, more shows and things like that around this coming too. So we have our other one to open. And this is where we're going to get some major value, I think, out of a couple of them. So again, have the whole entire set in this box. I was lucky enough to get a couple of the other ones extras. So I was able to get another, I think, royalty and another legendary that I have. But this should be the legendary and the Grails all together. So hopefully got everything we're looking for in here. With those, we'll kind of go through it like we did the last one. And you're wondering, what kind of set could this be? And let's see. Let me open this one up. Again, they come in these giant sorters. This one holds up to 3. So let me see if this is the right one as we're kind of going through these. So I could show you the legendaries first. It looks like, oh yeah, almost all the legendaries are in this one. So it made it a little easier for me. So this one was, like I said, a very popular series out there. And of course, I'm talking about Game of Thrones. Did very well on HBO. A lot of people loved the pups. But then kind of changed, and they stopped doing the show. Come back now with House of Dragon, and then there might be a chance of another show starting up in the near future as well too. They haven't fully confirmed everything with it, but we're still waiting on that one. But the first legendary here is Jaime Lannister. So Jaime Lannister with, of course, his golden hand. So he has the golden hand right here. This one is not too bad with PPG, coming in at $80. A lot of legendaries for this line, kind of coming in the normal amount. I think where you're thrown really far off is the Grail in this line. But this one is Jaime Lannister. 2,700 pieces, so a little higher, almost getting close to like being double what the last line was for legendaries we just showed, because those were 1,400. This is 2,700 with 2,585 of these actually redeemed through drop, so it's pretty cool. Definitely sought after. Good looking pop. I think it looks really well done. I love, the paint job, the colors and everything, and definitely a popular character for Game of Thrones. So I think this one will hold its value as we go down the line. Now, next one, these two almost go together a little bit for the next two legendaries with this line. First, we have Many-Faced Arya Stark. So Many-Faced Arya Stark is right here. This is a good one from the Game of Thrones. Definitely a great, maybe like 2 episodes, 3 episodes, I think you're kind of seeing a lot of this. I'm trying to remember back. It seemed like a little while. But again, 2,700 pieces. And we're talking about, this one is probably the lower end of the legendaries, only at $70. Again, this one was redeemed. 2,564 of these were actually redeemed in the lineup. Not too bad looking. I would say it kind of looks a little plain to me. Could be a little more. But I think there's some other Arya Stark pops out there that I think I like better than this one. Now, this one was kind of interesting because there's a pop that's really close to the look of it. And actually we have it, and it's really close to the same pop, but a slight difference. A couple differences, but the slight difference. And I think some of it's done a little better too. So this is a Jaqen H'ghar with mask, and his mask here you can see in his hand a little bit here. You can see it on the side there a little better, and we see it on the side. That's mainly the difference between the original pop, and I'll show you what the original pop looks like up there. That's the main difference. It does look like maybe a little more detail with him. Pretty cool. I think it looks good. I don't know. Did we need this one? Was this different enough? Maybe it wasn't. And that's why you get kind of with some of these Game of Thrones ones, because you did have a lot of these characters already come out. And you might even see it with House of the Dragons. Also, this was kind of unique kind of look at, it's been a while since he's been out. Are these what people are looking for? It was an interesting line to drop and see how these went up. But this one's coming in at $85. There's 2,700 of these. But the actual redeemed was 2,570. So again, about that like 150, 200 mark, seems like with legendaries is sticking around. So not too bad. And this is, but I don't think that's where our value is right now, because our value is coming in with some of the last two. Now, the last two, there's actually, I might have 3 in here. Let's see what I pulled. Let's see what else did I order. 3. Okay. Oh, actually, I have one more legendary. I almost forgot about one more legendary here, and that is the Hound. So the Hound, of course, a great character, but I like this one because this is the Hound Beyond the Wall. You kind of see a little bit of, the scarring on his face there. He does have a big old, it looks like axe hammer. I can't remember what he has in his hand, but yeah. Pretty cool looking. I like this one. A good looking hound. There has been other hounds though, so I don't know. This one does come in a little higher though. This one's coming at $90, so not too bad. And there was 2,563 out of the 2,700 actually redeemed. So again, this line had an extra, an extra one. It was more, of course, NFTs that were released, but extra legendary compared to our last lineup that we went through. So it actually had 6 total redeemables instead of the 5. That means we're on to our royalty one. Again, this is the first royalty one that actually, with the Game of Thrones, that didn't have a Freddy. I was like, what? No Freddy? Come on. We've had great Freddys. Jaime Lannister, super expensive one. You've had the Night King. You have all kinds of different great Freddys from Game of Thrones. So I have no idea why they couldn't release another Freddy. I really wanted to see another Freddy. I don't know why. But we did get a Jon Snow, a wildling Jon Snow. The only thing that is great about this is the rumored show to come out is Jon Snow, like what happens to him after the Game of Thrones. But I don't know if, for sure we're going to get it. Talked about probably going to get it. Who knows for sure after all, what's going on in Hollywood and all the writer strikes and different strikes going on. So it might be a while before we get a lot of new things out, but we'll see. But Jon Snow definitely would be a great one to have if it does come out. Now, this was a pretty large royalty, 4,500. So that is a pretty big number. But only 3,155 of these were actually redeemed. So that means almost over 1,000 less. So this is probably one of the lowest ones I've seen in a while. I don't like how sometimes these come out, depending on thing, they come out a little dirty almost, it looks like a little bit on them. You got a little bit of scuff here, and you can really notice on these boxes. That's why I really wish they put them in a protector, because I love the boxes, the styles of the boxes and how they look and kind of the shine to them and how they do the lettering. It's so much more impressive than some of the regular pops, but I wish they protected them a little more. Now, PPG on Jon Snow is coming in at $100, so not too bad for a royalty. Not crazy, but not too bad, especially being such a big number. Now, I did get lucky and pull this one in packs, and that's usually the only way I get the Grails, unless I really, 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 really want something and it's a decent price. But I would not have paid this much for this pop. But I was lucky enough to pull this Grail, and this, of course, is Daenerys Targaryen with egg. So this is a Grail 999. But only 966 were actually redeemed out of this. That means, there's a couple that were never redeemed, maybe never pulled, or just, people didn't open packs because they got more expensive along the line, things like that. But Game of Thrones, definitely a big character all the way throughout, so definitely this is why this one is definitely a great Grail, and it is definitely up there. This needs to go into a pop armor next, because this is $390 right now. Will it hold its value? I don't know, maybe, because this is a pretty low number compared to some of the other number of Grails and things like that from Game of Thrones. You have other pops that aren't as rare that don't have that value, so pretty good number. We're almost at $1,300 worth of NFT Funko Pops just with these two sets. This doesn't include some of the others. Now, definitely, I don't think I spent anywhere near that on opening packs and things like that of these, but I say if you are looking to get some of these, of course, you can try your luck at packs. But if you're looking just for some good deals, find some things with some legendaries that you want to buy on Atomic Hub or somewhere else with wax, or you can use your card through it and buy wax and things like that. I think that can be really beneficial if you're looking for something, buying it before it goes to the redeem part, and then the redeem part, you could still buy stuff at a decent price usually, maybe a little up from that. Especially the royalties, that might be the best way to do them sometimes. Sometimes it's better to buy everything individually, sometimes it's not. But definitely the Grails get up there, but we can see a striking difference between, Horatio JHudo and then Daenerys here. how big of a difference. We're talking $115 to $390. And this one, you know, they're going to be the same. Almost all the Grails are about the same number. So it is about popularity of the figures that are out there, where your legendaries can vary based on the series, how many are out there, but the prices seem to be about the same with a lot of legendaries in the aftermarket, or right around there. Royalties can vary a little bit depending on how big the sets are and things like that, and how popular they are too, and how hard it is maybe to get some of those epics and things like that, how much they cost compared to some others, how many there are in that set, how much the packs cost, all those kind of things factor into there. So hopefully you saw some great pops today, some great NFT redeemables. What one would you pick? What one is your favorite? I don't know. Like, if I had to pick a favorite just out of looks, you know, this is why I'm going after a lot of the sets. I do want a lot of the royalties, so I'm going after the Freddy Funkos as different characters, because I think they do really nice unique molds with a lot of these. They're not just popping on just a head. On Freddy, on a different body, they add something like this one's a different color at least looking, and things like that. They did his face a little to match, you know, what SLE Stack would look like. So many others they did. I was kind of disappointed that Game of Thrones didn't have a Freddy. I don't know what Drop was thinking. I don't know if it's some kind of licensing agreement or issue with that. We've only seen that a few times. House of Dragons is another one that had the royalty without that. And then also recently, just this week, they dropped the WB 100, and Pennywise as Daffy. Pennywise as Daffy was that collaboration mix-up. I guess it was already mixed up enough where they didn't add a Freddy as well. So kind of weird that they're not adding it to everyone. I like the royalties being a Freddy's. It's kind of fun to collect those and go after those. But yeah, tell me your favorite from today. All kinds of great things. And then what line are you looking forward to maybe coming in the future from NFTs? Hopefully we'll see some great other lineups, or maybe series 2 of some ones that we've already seen already. You never know. But what do you need to do? You need to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and come back to view some more content very soon. See you next time, everyone. Bye.